In this video, we're going to look at a polynomial factoring technique called the sum of squares. So we're going to look at the general form, and then in future videos, we'll look at some specific examples. For this one, we're going to factor the polynomial. Again, it's in general form. We're going to recognize it's a sum of two squares. So you see a squared and b squared, and we're adding them together. So first, we're going to write out the template for this factoring. So this is what you'll use and eventually become very comfortable with. A squared plus b squared factors into two binomials, so we'll set those up. And the first binomial will be a plus bi, where I is an imaginary number. A minus bi will be the second. So remember, I is the way we represent an imaginary number. I is actually equal to the square root of -1. Okay, so you've got the template, you've got your guide, but let's actually dig into why is this the correct way to factor this sum of squares. And we're going to do that simply by multiplying out this binomial using FOIL. Okay, so in now the blue, we're going to prove this. So the first two terms multiplied, the f in FOIL, that gives us back the a squared, that's easy enough. The o is multiply the outside two terms, that gives us minus abi. The I in FOIL, multiply the inside two terms, or the inner two terms, that's plus abi. You'll see those are going to cancel, the outer and the inner. And then the L in FOIL, multiply the last. So here's where we get the b squared, it's minus b squared. And then of course, I times I is I squared. So we have to have a quick review from our complex number system. If we know I is the square root of -1, then I squared is going to be -1. So essentially, we're trying to simplify this last term. And if we know I squared is actually -1, it's negative b squared times -1. And that, of course, is going to turn to positive b squared. So again, we canceled out those outer and inner terms, that abi, and we're left proving that our factoring is correct, a squared plus b squared. So again, the factoring shown in purple is the template that you can use to factor any sum of two squares, and the blue with a little bit of green, that shows you why it works. So this template does take a little bit of time to get used to. You have to get a little bit more comfortable with imaginary numbers, but once you have this, it's a really great tool in your factoring toolbox. Be sure to check the links. There will be examples of the sum of squares technique in action. Thanks for watching.